Educational disclaimer. This content is presented purely for educational purposes. It does not condone or promote any form of illegal activity. All names, events, and organizations referenced are based on publicly available records and open source research. Viewer discretion is advised due to the sensitive nature of the subject matter. South Los 13, SXL13, Operation Dirty Thirds, and Jose Fox Landa-Rodriguez, a historical deep dive into the Mexican Mafia, San Marcos conflict, and Southern California's underground networks. South Los 13, commonly abbreviated as SXL13, is a long-standing Hispanic street gang that originated in south-central Los Angeles, California. As a Sureño-aligned Varrio, SXL13 is connected to the Mexican Mafia, which is symbolically represented by the number 13 in its name. While its members maintain loyalty to La M, the gang's presence in Los Angeles has involved frequent rivalries, not only with various local factions but also with other Sureño-aligned Varrios. South Los 13 has clashed with numerous sets including the 18th Street Gang, Florencia 13, Junior Mafia 13, Barrio 13, Capones 13, Gardena 13, Playboys 13, Southside Watts Varrio Locotes 13, all Watts-based Varrios, all Compton Varrios, the East Coast Crips, and Hoover Criminals. These rivalries form a key part of SXL13's complex network of organized confrontations in Southern California. Origins and geography of Varrio South Los 13. Varrio South Los traces its roots to a section of South Los Angeles historically defined by Vermont Avenue West, Central Avenue East, 110th Street North, and 120th Street South. In modern times, the Varrio's heart has shifted toward the area around Imperial Highway and Main Street, with San Pedro Street now representing the eastern edge of its primary territory. Though originally in a predominantly African-American region, SXL13 maintained its identity and influence for decades, making it one of the most enduring Hispanic Varrios in the area. South Los 13 has also extended its influence beyond Los Angeles. In addition to its original turf in the city of LA and unincorporated Westmont, it has mentored or sponsored other gangs such as Barrio Pobre, Carnales, and CV-117. Sponsored Varrio connections. One notable example of SXL13's outreach is its connection to Barrio Pobre. The Barrio Pobre in Linwood is known to have helped establish a counterpart in Compton. However, questions persist about whether Linwood or Long Beach had the original Barrio Pobre clique. The Long Beach set, known to exist since at least the 1970s, was described by locals as particularly aggressive and deeply embedded in the street culture of its time. The sponsorship of newer Varrios by SXL13 reflects the gang's broader effort to extend its cultural identity and operational support across various parts of Southern California. SXL13 cliques and internal structure. South Los 13 consists of several cliques, each serving as a subgroup with its own identity and territory. Prominent cliques include Pistoleros, often considered one of the more senior cliques within the Varrio. Baby Locos, BLS, a youth-oriented clique that helps bring in younger members. Compañeros, a tight-knit unit known for strong internal cohesion. 111th Street Clique, a geographic-based subset located near the 111th Street corridor. These cliques operate under the shared values and expectations of the broader SXL13 structure. Despite their independent characteristics, they all contribute to the overall strength and continuity of the Varrio. San Diego chapter, South Los and San Marcos. In 1988, a mother moved her family from South Los Angeles to San Marcos, a city in San Diego County, to remove her 3 sons from the environment associated with SXL13. Ironically, rather than disengaging from the lifestyle, her sons established a new chapter of South Los 13 in San Marcos. This San Marcos extension has since maintained a distinct yet affiliated identity with the original South Los Varrio. Members of this chapter often wear LA Dodgers gear to signal their connection to Los Angeles. Meanwhile, to show their local presence, they may also sport San Diego Padres or Chargers attire. The gang, sometimes referred to as VSM, Varrio South Los, San Marcos, became engaged in confrontations with other San Marcos-based gangs such as Wolfpack and Ghost Town. Like their Los Angeles counterparts, many SXL13 members in San Marcos are undocumented immigrants who reside in the central part of the city. Their affiliation with the broader SXL13 legacy underscores the enduring influence of the Varrio model across Southern California's urban and suburban regions. Varrio San Marcos vs. South Los, a tension-fueled tragedy in San Diego County. In the city of San Marcos, California, a long-standing internal dispute between 2 local Hispanic street gangs, Varrio San Marcos, VSM, and South Los came to a deadly turning point on the night of June 14, 2006, What began as territorial tension escalated into a fatal confrontation that would lead to a high-profile trial and a landmark conviction. Both gangs are historically turf-oriented. VSM, formed in the late 1970s, primarily consisted of U.S.-born males who lived in the western sector of San Marcos. South Los, by contrast, began in 1988 when a mother, seeking to remove her sons from the influence of Los Angeles-based criminal networks, relocated them to San Marcos. Instead of escaping that environment, her sons helped form a local chapter of the South Los gang. South Los members often wore LA Dodgers apparel to symbolize their roots, while VSM members used San Diego Padres or Chargers gear to assert local identity. Before the formation of South Los in San Marcos, a loosely affiliated gang known as Los Pitufos, Spanish for the Smurfs, had existed, but after many of them joined South Los, VSM members interpreted the gang's rise as a territorial threat. The tension between these two factions culminated in the fatal incident of June 14th, when Robert Lopez, a documented member of VSM, and several accomplices chased down two South Los affiliates Julio Ramirez and Jesse Reyes. Ramirez, known as Menace, was a respected member of South Los. Reyes survived the attack. Surveillance cameras captured Lopez leading the pursuit, brandishing a knife and making stabbing motions. In a subsequent interview, Lopez admitted to stabbing Reyes but denied involvement in Ramirez's death, insisting he only aimed for Reyes's shoulder. Detective Ricardo Lopez of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, an expert on both VSM and South Los, provided deep insight during the trial. Interestingly, Detective Lopez had the gang nickname Little Loco, a name he earned for his dedication to VSM. He testified that VSM had more than 100 documented members by mid-2006 and was aware of previous confrontations involving South Los. Before the attack, wiretaps authorized by the court revealed a chilling conversation between Detective Lopez and VSM's leader, Cesar Snoop Modano. Lopez sought permission to raid Ramirez's home due to suspicions that Ramirez had assaulted a VSM member named Blackie. Modano gave permission, but instructed that only Ramirez should be harmed. Surveillance of Ramirez's home followed. About 10 days later, Lopez again contacted Modano to ask for permission to confront South Los members who had disrespected Necio's pad, a clear sign of turf violation. Modano advised Lopez to avoid extreme measures, saying, "Just crack 'em." On June 14th, VSM members believed the South Los affiliate had defaced a VSM member's grave. In Lopez's own words, "The homies wanted to get somebody just for that. They didn't care who it was, a soca was gonna die." The term soca was a derogatory term VSM used for South Los members. The gang chased their targets across Marco Street and Richmond Avenue, an area monitored by security cameras. As captured in video evidence, Lopez was at the forefront, knife in hand. While Lopez initially denied targeting Ramirez, he admitted they had been looking to get him for some time. Reyes was cornered near a water vending machine and attacked by several VSM members. A witness later reported seeing Lopez stab both victims, although their statements varied during the trial. The autopsy revealed Ramirez had been stabbed 8 times in the back, including a fatal wound that penetrated his chest cavity and pulmonary artery. He also suffered blunt force trauma to the face and neck. Reyes sustained serious injuries, including fractured ribs, a punctured lung, and signs of significant head trauma. In court, the jury found Robert Lopez guilty of first-degree murder for the death of Julio Ramirez and attempted premeditated murder for the attack on Jesse Reyes. Enhancements were added for his personal use of a knife and for committing the offenses for the benefit of a criminal street organization. The court sentenced Lopez to 26 years to life for Ramirez's murder and a consecutive life sentence with the possibility of parole for the attempted murder of Reyes. Cultural identity and representation. SXL13 members often communicate their identity through clothing, graffiti, and symbols. Items like LA, Dodgers caps or logos bearing South Los, SXL, or Sur X Los serve as visual markers of affiliation. These representations are carefully chosen to reinforce internal unity while avoiding overt depictions that could violate public platform guidelines. In San Marcos, the blending of Los Angeles and San Diego-based symbolism illustrates the Varrio's adaptability and the pride members feel in representing both their origin and current locale. The Mexican Mafia, Operation Dirty Thirds, and The Project, a deep dive into one of Southern California's most ambitious organized crime investigations. In the shadows of Southern California's justice system, a powerful syndicate known as the Mexican Mafia, or La M, functioned as an illicit power structure, exerting authority not only inside correctional institutions, but across Latino street gangs, extortion operations, and covert alliances. From 2010 to 2018, authorities uncovered a wide-ranging criminal network within Los Angeles County's jail system, leading to a pivotal multi-agency operation known as Operation Dirty Thirds. This effort revealed how La M allegedly extended its reach through an attempted partnership with the Mexican cartel La Familia Michoacana, a collaboration internally dubbed The Project. At the center of it all was Jose Fox Landa-Rodriguez, a Mexican Mafia member originally from Michoacan. From behind bars, he was accused of orchestrating unauthorized operations across multiple jails and influencing outside networks of organized criminal activity inside the Mexican Mafia's jail network. The Mexican Mafia was formed in the 1950s within California's dual vocational institution by incarcerated members of East Los Angeles street gangs. Over the decades, it grew into a trans-regional syndicate that maintained authority through internal discipline, extortion, and control over affiliated Sureño gangs. In the Los Angeles County Jail System, LACJ, one of the largest correctional systems in the country, La M allegedly created a system of control and taxation. According to a 2018 federal indictment, Landa-Rodriguez and others oversaw smuggling and unauthorized distribution of controlled substances, enforced a mandatory thirds tax, requiring non-members to relinquish a third of their contraband, and extorted commissary sales from Latino inmates. This operation relied on a detailed hierarchy of shot callers, facilitators, and secretaries, some of whom were attorneys, such as Gabriel Zendejas Chavez, accused of transmitting orders while protected under the shield of attorney-client privilege. Though Zendejas Chavez was later cleared of racketeering charges, his alleged involvement exemplified the Mexican Mafia's reliance on professional intermediaries. The alliance with La Familia Michoacana, the project. In 2011, a bold plan emerged. La M and the La Familia Michoacana cartel began negotiations to establish a partnership. This plan, known as the Project, aimed to give La Familia free access to distribute methamphetamine in Southern California in exchange for financial compensation and protection in U.S. prisons. Two brothers with cartel ties, Freddy and Hugo Montes, approached Landa-Rodriguez with this offer. From his federal prison cell in Virginia, Landa-Rodriguez contacted Michael Boo Moreno, a parolee with deep roots in the Mexican Mafia, to help broker the deal. They envisioned a syndicate that would merge cartel supply chains with La M's established prison and street infrastructure. In return for a discounted product, La M would ensure protection for cartel members inside jails and prisons and would help collect outstanding debts on the streets. However, unbeknownst to the organizers, one of the key intermediaries, Ralph Perico Rocha, was a federal informant wearing a wire. This undercover operation provided critical evidence that led to a series of federal indictments. Operation Dirty Thirds, the 2018 crackdown. On May 23, 2018, over 500 law enforcement agents from multiple agencies executed coordinated raids across Southern California as part of Operation Dirty Thirds, a reference to the thirds tax imposed by the Mexican Mafia on contraband. The federal racketeering indictments, which named 83 individuals, detailed how La M had effectively created an illegal government within LACJ, operating across facilities like the Men's Central Jail and Twin Towers Correctional Facility. Authorities arrested 32 people that morning, while 35 others were already in custody, and 16 remained fugitives. At the top of the indictment was Jose Landa-Rodriguez, accused of sanctioning violent acts, coordinating unauthorized distribution networks, and ordering killings even from behind bars. His alleged lieutenant, Luis Gerardo Little One Vega, also played a prominent role in overseeing street-level operations. One of the most controversial revelations was the role of attorney Gabriel Zendejas Chavez, who prosecutors claimed traveled to prisons such as ADX Florence to convey messages, coordinate extortion schemes, and facilitate plans to demand $100,000 from the Mongols motorcycle gang. Though he was ultimately not convicted on RICO charges, his arrest highlighted the strategic use of intermediaries by La M, a social network of influence and enforcement. Social network analysis, SNA, conducted by researchers later visualized the organizational structure of this dark network. The studies showed that individuals like Landa-Rodriguez served as key nodes, with associates like Zendejas Chavez, Lorene Garcia, a jail secretary, and Daniel Cervantes acting as crucial bridges that linked disparate cells within the operation. Figures such as Sonia Shorty Apodaca and Claudia Giggles Garcia were instrumental in relaying messages and supporting logistical coordination. The attempted alliance with La Familia Michoacana mirrored many of the decentralized governance structures seen in international criminal networks. While La Familia offered supply chains and cartel backing, La M provided prison protection and local enforcement, a symbiosis that made the project a significant strategic threat in the eyes of law enforcement. The rise and fall of key players. Among the most pivotal figures in the Operation Dirty Thirds case was Jose Landa-Rodriguez, also known as Fox or Fox Tapia. Originally from Michoacan, Mexico, Landa-Rodriguez is a longtime member of the South Los 13 gang and an alleged senior figure in the Mexican Mafia. Federal prosecutors contend that from 2012 to 2016, he orchestrated wide-ranging criminal operations from within the men's central jail, part of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department system. According to a May 2018 federal indictment, Landa-Rodriguez controlled all unauthorized distribution inside the jail, enforced the infamous thirds tax, and was accused of ordering multiple acts of violence including murders, assaults, and a kidnapping and planned murder of a gang member's relative. He allegedly used intermediaries including fellow inmates, jail secretaries, and even his attorney to carry out directives on the outside. Landa-Rodriguez was described by gang experts as the most powerful and influential inmate in LA County Jail. Despite being incarcerated, he reportedly maintained a sophisticated communication system that allowed him to exert control over external gang operations. His reach extended not only into the streets but also into ongoing negotiations with La Familia Michoacana during the formation of the project. His leadership style was emblematic of La Aim's modern structure, less reliant on overt displays of power and more focused on strategic control, profit, and insulation through trusted facilitators. Michael Moreno, Boo, a senior La M member with family ties to multiple other members. He was later sentenced to 11 years in federal prison in 2025 after pleading guilty to his role in facilitating cartel negotiations. Freddy Montes, a Central La Familia contact who helped initiate the cartel's offer and deliver money and product to Mexican Mafia members. Luis Vega, who, though seldom mentioned in direct conversations, served as second-in-command in La M and acted as a bridge to La Familia. Broader implications, from streets to strategy. The investigation revealed an evolution in how organized criminal gangs operate. Whereas street gangs of the past were often tied to turf battles and visible displays of power, the modern Mexican Mafia emphasized discretion, operational efficiency, and transnational partnerships. Law enforcement officials, including FBI Assistant Director Paul Delacourt and U.S. Attorney Nick Hanna, acknowledged the unprecedented level of cooperation that led to these arrests. The Pomona Police Department, ATF, DEA, IRS Criminal Division, and CDCR were among many agencies that played a role. Pomona, once known for intense street-level conflict, now stood as a symbol of cross-agency collaboration. Parks like the former Sharkey Park, renamed Tony Shirta Park, were highlighted as success stories where community healing replaced the grip of criminal control. What happens next? While many of the indicted members, including Moreno, have served or are completing sentences, others like Landa-Rodriguez face ongoing legal battles. As of 2025, he remains jailed on separate charges related to alleged extortion and violent activity within LACJ. The alliance with La Familia ultimately failed, but it highlighted the adaptability of criminal organizations. Even as La Familia splintered into factions such as the Knights Templar and La Nueva Familia Michoacana, the effort to build networks that stretch across prison walls and national borders continues. Operation Dirty Thirds was not merely a crackdown, it was a case study in modern organized crime, where prison-based power structures, cartel ambitions, and local street networks converge. The case of Jose Landa-Rodriguez and the project offers a window into how these systems function, adapt, and, when confronted by united enforcement efforts, begin to unravel. This story underscores the importance of vigilant, cooperative law enforcement and the need to understand these organizations not just as street threats, but as strategic networks with long-reaching influence. As agencies across local, state, and federal levels continue to adapt, their shared mission remains clear: dismantling dark networks while safeguarding communities. Community impact and sociological relevance. The long-standing presence of South Los 13 in Los Angeles and beyond has left an undeniable mark on the neighborhoods it occupies. While its reputation is partly shaped by its rivalries and conflicts, the Varrio also plays a role in these communities' cultural, social, and even familial networks. In recent years, some cliques have seen older members guiding younger ones toward vocational training or local mentorship programs to reduce reliance on unauthorized activity. Similar efforts have been seen in San Marcos, where youth programs and social workers attempt to engage younger residents before they become fully immersed in Varrio life. Conclusion. South Los 13 or SXL13 is more than just a localized street identity. It's a reflection of intergenerational culture, regional pride, and adaptive survival within a competitive urban landscape. From its roots in South Central LA to its expansion into San Marcos, the Varrio has shown both resilience and influence, building networks of internal cliques and external sponsorships that continue to evolve. Though its history includes organized confrontations with a wide array of other gangs, it also demonstrates the capacity for transformation through community engagement and identity preservation. Understanding South Los 13 from a sociological lens allows us to explore the broader questions of community, loyalty, adaptation, and youth outreach in the context of Southern California's shifting cultural landscape.